From the Fox 5 studios, this is the RebZone Sports Show.
Sponsored by Hennessy Haight, Help is Here, and by Flowing Tide Pub.
I feel like we're just really locked in on what the overall goal is, which is making the tournament, winning the league. Coach Kruger's doing a great job every day of just letting us know the goal's still in front of us, even with the early losses. So these 3 wins is what we expected, so we're going to keep it going.
Our goals are still the same: go to the tournament, go to the Mountain West Championship, and win that. Win the Mountain West. I don't think none of that's changed. I just think we just got to keep working and keep playing.
It's great, we're starting to get more and more fans in here as we're winning more games every game. So just having that atmosphere build more and more every game as we win more games at home, it's going to be big down the road.
J'aime Las Vegas. Je me suis senti à l'aise depuis le premier jour et ça continue toujours. Merci beaucoup.
Oh, yes, we got Pop speaking French on the RebZone. Really great show on tap tonight. Head coach of the Running Rebels, Kevin Kruger, in studio. Really special story tonight on Pape N'Diaye from the Ivory Coast. But, Coach, your team is rolling right now in conference play, 3-0, winning 4 straight. What are you seeing from your team getting ready for Boise State?
A lot of what those guys kind of said, just kind of believing in themselves, believing that we got to do what we need to do to win games, but also there's room for improvement. And but we're seeing a confidence start to build and grow, and that's the best part about kind of being a part of it, and is seeing them just kind of continue to take those steps and compete, and like those guys said, just because we had some early losses doesn't mean that of course they hurt, but at the same time we've still got games coming up that are great challenges for us, so we just got to keep getting ready.
3-0 in conference play, looking to win 5 in a row on the road this week against Boise State. Want to show you where UNLV is at in the Mountain West standings, in that number 3 spot, getting ready to take on number 4 Boise State on the road for a Tuesday night matchup. Coach, what can you say about Mountain West League play this year?
Well, it's the same as it's always been. I mean, incredibly tough and physical conference, and like we talked about last show, there's a lot of new faces, but at the same time, you've still got Alfred in New Mexico, you've still got Coach Miles at San Jose, Coach Dutcher at San Diego State, Coach Patino. I mean, you can go down the list, Coach Rice at Boise. That these guys know how to win games, and they know how to have great years. So even while there might be some new faces, it's still going to be a really good conference schedule and a really challenging one.
Yeah, the Running Rebels locked in on winning the Mountain West Championship this year. Coach, I want to ask you what you see day to day in practice. You told me last night your guys are already back at Mendenhall, already focused on Boise State, getting into a routine. What are you seeing as of late?
As much as anything, the last handful of games, we're just seeing the guys have a really concentrated effort of carrying over what we're working on in practice into the games, and I think they're helping each other out. They're playing for each other, and they've really done a great job carrying those preparations into the game and into the kind of competition against another group. And if we can keep doing that, then we should have a good stretch and a good opportunity to win a lot of games.
A lot of confidence on the court and at practice this season. Let's check out the highlights last night from UNLV's big win over San Jose State.
The Runnin' Rebels roll into the new year on a 4-game win streak. The Spartans open up the game with a 3-ball. San Jose State jumps on the board first. Jaden Henley answers right back. The Rebels and Spartans are tied up at 3. UNLV keeps rolling. Henley to Bear Cherry. Happy New Year. The Rebels steal the lead. Brooklyn Hicks, the sophomore, has ice in his veins, giving it all he's got every second he's out there. UNLV extends their lead 27-18. The star of the RebZone tonight, Pape N'Diaye, putting on a show for his second home of Las Vegas, Nevada. UNLV dominating 44-26 at the half. Rebels keep up the fight. DJ Thomas to Jaden Henley for the dunk. Go off number 10. The Rebels are rolling 46-30. The former Rebel, Donovan Yap, would answer on the other end from the corner. His little brother, Demarian Yap, plays for UNLV. Yap drains another 3, and the Spartans are fighting back, trailing the Rebels 71-64. The Spartans add another 3-ball on the board, and San Jose State trails UNLV by 4 with 1 minute to go. But the Rebels hang on to their lead 79-73, winning their 4th straight 3-0 in conference play.
It's great, we're starting to get more and more fans in here as we're winning more games every game. So just having that atmosphere build more and more every game as we win more games at home, it's going to be big down the road.
I'm really just trusting Coach Kruger's plan, the whole coaching staff's plan. I'm coming off the bench and I feel comfortable. I'm just playing my game, and I feel good with the second group, coming in, playing, bringing a spark, more energy. So, yeah, I feel good.
Big win last night at the Thomas and Mack. It was rocking, Coach. What I'm hearing is a lot of confidence from your guys, but DJ Thomas also saying they can't slip up on defense. They can't sleep on defense towards the end of that game. What were the corrections to your team this morning?
Yeah, I think we just kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit. I think in the first half, we had a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and in the second half, we we're on our heels a little bit timid, and we've just got to keep kind of doing what we had done to get that cushion. And but guys, we recognize it. It's something that we talk about, and hopefully we play with a lot of cushion going forward as well. But as much as anything, we just got to keep the energy going, kind of stick to what we were doing to build those leads, so that we can either keep them there or expand on it.
Coach, we've talked on the RebZone the depth at the guard position. Jaden Henley really putting on a show this week, really taking over in that secondary unit. Talk about what you're seeing from Henley and all your guards this week.
Yeah, we've got a very versatile guard group. Of course, not excluding the bigs and how well they've played, but we've got a number of guys that can dribble, pass, and shoot and make plays for each other. And in the last 4 games especially, and even going back to Dayton, even though we didn't come out on top there, we had a lot of great plays. Great spacing, great drive and kick opportunities, and guys are playing with a good level of confidence to create for each other and make plays.
Basketball and brotherhood. How cool is this? Las Vegas is a hoops town. Shout out to Donovan Yap and his little brother Damarian Yap reunited at the Thomas and Mack. 2 Arbor View products. More UNLV hoops after the break.
You're watching the RebZone.
His production on the court, from compared to last year to this year, it's taken a huge jump. He's just doing all the little things, like getting offensive rebounds, steals, running the floor, keeping his spacing. So I'm just so proud and how far he's come.
Welcome back to the RebZone. DJ Thomas there speaking so highly about his teammate Brooklyn Hicks, who is shining in year 2 at UNLV. Big week for Hicks, both at Air Force and against San Jose State. Coach, he told me when he comes off the bench, he wants to immediately get a stop and really execute your game plan. What are you seeing from both Brooklyn Hicks this season?
Yeah, just that. It comes in just like Bedford mentioned earlier, just providing a spark, keeping the energy up or raising the intensity level, and he's done a great job. I mean, he comes in, he does a great job on the offensive glass. He does a great job, as you saw in the highlight, attacking the rim. But he's always playing with a high level of energy, and that's something that has meshed well with the rest of the guys on the group to form a really good guard group.
Yeah, Coach, even before conference play started, Brooklyn Hicks was really tearing it up. Here's some highlights of him just being so aggressive. What do you like about his tempo, his speed, how quick he's able to shoot and just really pass the ball?
Yeah, well, he's incredibly fast. He ran track in high school, and he's in great condition. So, him being out there is something that we know it provides an advantage, with his speed and athleticism. And then, like we just said, offensive rebounding, getting deflections, having good defensive possessions is something that, it forms a really good group, and it forms a really good energy out there. And we're going to need that as a group going forward if we want to continue winning games.
New Year's Eve hoops here at the Academy. UNLV looking to stack 3 wins in a row. Air Force's Princeton offense always tough to play against. Ethan Taylor opens up the ball game with this 3 on the buzzer. The Falcons jump on the board first. Jalen Bedford is coming off one of his best games of the season. Step back jumper in the paint, that's pretty. Bedford not done, finding a groove here in the first half. Back-to-back threes for Bedford, and UNLV goes on a 10-0 run, up 16-10 over the Falcons. Kevin Kruger's got shooters in his ball club. Brooklyn Hicks drains the corner 3. The Rebels up by 11 in the first half. UNLV playing aggressive on defense. Jalen Hill fights for the steal, sends it the other way, and the best point guard in the conference, DJ Thomas, pulls up for 3. Strong offensive first half for the Rebs, up 38-26 at halftime. UNLV keeps up the fight in the second half. Bear Cherry pushes his way up for 2. The Rebels up by 20 over Air Force. Later, Cherry bounces it to Julian Rishwain with the automatic 3. The Rebels are up 60-32. Air Force showing off their moves in the paint. Ethan Taylor cruises past UNLV for the bucket. Taylor would lead the Falcons with 14 points on the night, and the Runnin' Rebels cruise to a dominating victory over Air Force, winning 3 in a row.
We did great, honestly. For a 2-day scout, we came out here and did what we needed. Got punched a little bit early, but we responded very well. I mean, there's the returners letting them know, like coach is saying, it's no joke. It's really no joke between the air and how they run their offense. But we did a great job, so I'm very impressed with this group. I feel like we're just really locked in on what the overall goal is, which is making the tournament, winning the league. I mean, Coach Kruger's doing a great job every day of just letting us know the goal's still in front of us, even with the early losses. So these 3 wins is what we expected, so we're going to keep it going.
Building off what Hicks is saying there, 2-day prep for Air Force, a lot of new faces on your team. What can you say about your coaching staff executing the game plan for your guys? Yeah,
Coach Saxon had a great scout and had those guys ready. And, you know, we talked about it a lot. You know, we had 4 guys out there that had never seen it before. And early on it kind of showed. But like Brooklyn just said, once we kind of took a deep breath and just kind of stuck to what we believed would win, guys just got stronger as the game went on. And they were able to build a really good cushion and get a really good win up at Air Force.
Yeah, Rushwain pours in 16 points, 4 players in double figures. Really offensively, Coach, what did you like about this game?
Just the way we shared it. We did a really good job spacing and sharing the ball. Yeah. You see, I mean, on these highlights, a lot of them are assisted. You know, just driving, kicking, making plays for each other, being ready. Because when we share the ball, we got a lot of guys that can get past their defenders. So if we can share it, have good spacing, get downhill, make plays for each other, we can have really good offensive nights.
Yeah, the Runnin' Rebels playing their best ball right now, looking to win 5 in a row when we pack our bags to Boise State. Well, Kevin Kruger has several new faces on his team this year, and each one of them has a story. UNLV's freshman center, Pape N'Diaye, is 7,000 miles away from his family in West Africa, but feels right at home here in Las Vegas. We're sharing a very special story on Pape N'Diaye coming up next.
Man, that's my guy. He comes in, he does his job. And I'm just proud of him. He's a freshman. He has a lot of room to grow, and he has a high ceiling. So yeah, it's been great to have him as a little brother and little teammate. So yeah.
Well, every player I've interviewed on this Runnin' Rebels team immediately shows a huge smile when I ask them about freshman center Pape N'Diaye. Kevin Kruger, this has been a really special year for your guys, a lot of new faces, and this is what I love about this show is telling the stories of your new faces. Like Jalen just mentioned, a lot of energy, a lot of spark, but he's a sponge everywhere he's been. What are you seeing from Pape this season? Yeah, a lot of that. You know, he's quiet. You know, he's kind of, I think, nervous at times. There's a little bit of a language barrier with certain things in certain settings, but he's a fun-loving guy. He's always got a smile on his face. He's fun to be around, and just like Jalen Bedford said, he's special. You know, he's got a great chance to be special, not just because he's skilled, tall, you know, athletic and mobile, but just because everybody loves him. And he's going to be a fan favorite, if not already, and a city favorite while he's here in Vegas. Yeah, 2 years here in Las Vegas. He told me he learned English through Duolingo, just on his phone every single day. Really special story. Here's more from Pape N'Diaye.
My name is Pape N'Diaye. I'm from Ivory Coast, and my story began like 2 years ago when I was playing back home, and then I got a scholarship to come to United States, and so I did all the paperwork, visa, they bring the school paper, all this, so I get my visa, and then the next day I go to the airport. I didn't know how to speak English at all, and I was by myself. It's not like somebody come with me to the United States.
Pape is 7,000 miles away from home and only a freshman, but he's found his second home here in Las Vegas with the Runnin' Rebels.
So on the process of getting my scholarship, when we play AU, they always come watch me. They always text me or call me to see how I feel, how basketball doing. They just came to my practice and watch. So in my mind, I was like, oh, they're really interesting, and I feel like they just care about me. So I'm I have to come to this because I feel like it's family, and I feel like if I came here, I would be family. So that's why I chose UNLV.
Pape brings the energy, the smile, the size, and even the three-point buckets.
You start with after practice, I just go on the gun or take 2 managers or take 1 coach, and they just have me shooting. Burr gave me advice. Rob gave me advice too. like they're big brother for me. So when I do the mistake on the court, they took me on the side and they're like, hey, do like this, do like this, do like this, do like this. And I just listen. And the coach also helped me when I do mistake. They're just like, you have to do this better, you have to do this better.
Pape is surrounded by leaders at UNLV, all willing to help him play his best ball. What would he tell kids back home in West Africa? Take a leap of faith to follow your dreams.
If I have to advise them, I'm gonna tell them like never give up, like keep practicing, trust the process, and then pray too, because God helped me too. So, and then we see what's gonna happen.
As he mentioned in that story, you know, he loves to listen to guys. He loves to listen to advice and, you know, of how to get better. And he doesn't take anything personally. He just he enjoys working at it. And, you know, he's able to shoot the ball. He's able to finish around the rim. He's able to be a defensive presence. And as he just gets older and his confidence continues to grow, I think he's going to be able to be in spots where he can do that for longer stretches and be even more of a focal point of the offense. And but he's going to work at it. He's going to have a big smile on his face while he does it. So like I've said earlier, he's going to be special. And but the best part about it, Pape, is he doesn't have to be in the NBA tomorrow. He understands that he's just got to keep working, and everything that he wants will be at his feet. And so that's how he kind of approaches it. And but he's been a dream to be around.
This is why I love college athletics. Really inspiring story to hear that a player from 7,000 miles away can feel at home right here in Las Vegas. Well, coming up next, we'll hear more from the Las Vegas native DJ Thomas on knocking off Boise State on the road this week. The Rebs won last year on the road 68-64 in Boise and are locked in on beating the Broncos and securing their 5th win in a row. We'll take a look at Boise State coming up next.
You know, they're a big team. Last year, we went in there and got a really tough win. We just went in there, did all the little things, got back on defense, we're able to rebound, slow them down offensively. But I feel like if we just stick to what we're good at, I think we'll be fine.
Welcome back to the RebZone. DJ Thomas hungry for more conference wins. UNLV looking to win their 5th straight, 4th conference win in a row when they travel to Boise State on Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. 2 road games on tap this week. Coach, you told me your guys are really hungry, really focused on beating Boise State. But like we mentioned, new faces on Boise State, but some familiar too. What do you think about this year's squad?
Yeah, you know, even though some faces have changed, it's still a lot of the same. You know, Degenhart's a really good player. Cardenas, the transfer from San Jose, a huge focal point in what they do offensively. And but anytime you play one of Coach Rice's teams, you know they're going to share the ball. You know they're going to make plays for each other. They're going to be incredibly sound. And they're going to be really tough. And as DJ said last year, I thought that was maybe even one of our most focused games. We went in there, we were a really good team. Kind of had a great approach to it and carried out a really good road win for us for 40 minutes. But if you go into Boise thinking you can take breaks or if you can do it for 35 or 34, it's probably not going to work. It's got to be a 40-minute game where we're locked in, we're playing for each other, making good plays, and just being really aggressive and on our toes.
No doubt it's a hostile environment on the road in Boise. We're looking at highlights from yesterday's 76-68 loss, Boise State against San Diego State. Coach, you have Jace Whiting on your team from Boise State who played 2 seasons with the Broncos. Do you feel like you have a little bit of an advantage having someone from Boise in your squad?
Yeah, I mean, mostly just kind of a thought here or there, you know, but like all the coaches in the Mountain West do, you know, each game prep's a little bit different and unique, and especially now with the portal and the different faces each year. You know, one year you might be playing them and they might play breakneck speed, and the next year they got a different roster and they slow it down. So as much as anything, guys know, you know, they're familiar with Degenhart, they're familiar with Stanley, Cardenas, those guys that are returners that are such a big focal point of their offense, that they know how hard they're going to have to compete and what we're going to have to do just from an approach standpoint, even outside of the X's and O's.
Yeah, interesting to see Mountain West players transferring, staying in the conference this season. Well, no doubt DJ Thomas and Kevin Kruger's guys are really hungry, really relentless on the road, looking to win 5 in a row and improve to 4-0 in conference play. Well, make sure to go to the Lady Rebels home game this Wednesday night against Colorado State, number 1 versus number 2. A lot of great hoops action this week. The Lady Rebels and Runnin' Rebels both undefeated in conference play.